Beastly content. Today we're going to be covering how to farm gunpowder. Never waste your acid on gunpowder ever again. So we're going to be going to the Gaia Monolith, and we're actually just going to be going through and actually killing the Rosetta enemies, because if you do not know, Rosetta soldiers drop gunpowder. Not only do they drop gunpowder, but they drop grenades of all kinds. That does mean that you will be able to also, by farming this and running it over and over, because this is repeatable, all you have to do is go to the teleport tower. Once you teleport there, all the enemies will have respawned, including a boss who drops Star Chrome, guys. Well, not Star Chrome itself, but he drops the eclipses that you use in the purification event in your territory that will give you Star Chrome, guys. So, not only will this be a gunpowder farm, but it will also be a Star Chrome farm, guys. Absolutely mad. I also believe if you build a base here, you could just build it really close to the boss battle, and then just instantly jump and kill him, and then get off the game and relog into the game and kill him, and relog into the game and kill him in a matter of seconds. I'm sure there's definitely a way of farming that boss drop, because he's only a level 17 killable enemy, and also all of these enemies have a chance of dropping gunpowder. In this first little area here, this is the tower. The only reason why I recommend doing it the first time you do the run for your day is because it does have activators in it in the form of med kits, which is very nice. The next area we're going to be going down to now is this part here. Really, I've shown you where you need to go, so some of you might be clicking off, but for those of you who don't, you will be learning of, where everything is, the fastest ways up everything, which is, for instance, you see those crates, just walk right up them, you're going to be able to get up here super easy, no problem there. We did just get a drop from an enemy. We're going to see if it's gunpowder or another grenade, because I'm telling you, I've gotten tons of grenades. Eclipse Cortex, guys, as you've seen there. Every time you travel here, you will be able to kill that guy and get an Eclipse Cortex. It's an unlimited Eclipse Cortex. The only limit you really have is the time frame in which you're allowed to travel back there. Unless there's like an in-game deviant who will make portals you can place, where you could place a portal here and then a portal to your base and go back and forth, and I'm sure that'd be a very efficient farm. And as you've seen in there, there is a medical bag in the back of that building right there. And then as for up here, there are just some enemies up here that are also killable. They're also going to have a chance of dropping gunpowder. You're just going to want to run through here and kill the enemies. Now, for those of you who clicked off the video, hopefully you just kept walking down the road. But if you didn't, keep walking down the road after you kill the enemies here. As you can see, we're currently at 3 gunpowder. This really is the warm-up area, and the reason why I do it is because there is that Star Chrome boss. Also, on the first run, there are all those storage containers here. Aside from that, I think I would definitely recommend just to go through and kill enemies as fast as possible. If they don't drop anything, don't even bother with the boxes, and skip that tower because it's one single enemy. And the chance of him actually giving gunpowder to you is very low, just because he's a lower level. I would also say that if you go to other monoliths, they are also very good for gunpowder, because they're going to have Rosetta soldiers. However, other monoliths may be a higher or lower level, so adjust to your current level. I am technically level 33 right now, and I'm doing a level 17 monolith, but I wanted to show y'all a guide where all players would be able to do this after a certain point. Sure, when you're lower level than 17 or 15 or something like that, you might have to take some acid and make some gunpowder for your ammo, but once you're able to farm this monolith, and you want to do it where you can easily kill the enemies. That's why I've done such the lowest level one here. Also, there's energy links up here in this top crate here the first time you harvest it. Do harvest it. There's also the beryllium crystals in every single storage crate around here, so you will be getting a good amount of beryllium crystals if you are after those, if you're low enough level to need beryllium crystals. However, I don't actually know if I do. I might need them a little bit, but I don't think they're like key ingredients or anything. They may be, because they are like a legendary rarity. But as you can see here, there are 2 more enemies there. Just go down this tunnel now and make your way down the hill. You will find some more enemies here. Go ahead and kill these enemies as well. They will also have a chance of dropping gunpowder. Up to this point, this run was one of my worst runs when it comes to a gunpowder run. Usually, I've had better luck with the enemies dropping gunpowder, but the first half of this farm had me sweating, making me think, oh my goodness, I don't think I'm going to be able to show this as a guide. because for some reason they're not dropping gunpowder at all. But eventually, as we get into here further and we collect all the storage containers, the enemies will be dropping more gunpowder. We did get 3 so far technically, so we have gotten 3 gunpowder out of this farm just getting down to this hill. Some of you may want to just skip straight down to this bunker area here because there are a ton of enemies in a refined area here that will also be dropping gunpowder. But honestly, I would suggest just doing the whole run, walking all the way down the hill, getting the boss. Maybe you can take and break different things. Like the first run, I'd suggest going everywhere and collecting everything. The second run, you're not going to be able to collect the storage containers anyway, so just go ahead and skip past the parts where you're collecting the storage containers. But do still kill the enemies, I would suggest, just because you are here for a gunpowder farm and a grenade farm. So of course, if you don't kill the enemies, you're not going to be getting the rewards you need. As you can see, we're now at 6 though. And down here, I don't know if it's because they're down here or what, but they just had so much more gunpowder to give me. Like I said, that top area is a warm-up area slash a star-grown farm of sorts. At least a light one. I know it is just 1 Cortex, or maybe it was 2 Cortex, I actually do believe, and it's just the fact that there's the time gate on there. But while you're farming gunpowder, it is a great thing to go ahead and get those Cortexes because they will add up, and before you know it, you'll have like a few thousand Star-Chrome sitting in your inventory, and you go, where did all this come from? Oh, yeah, I farmed some gunpowder, and there just happens to be a boss that infinitely responds that has Cortexes, which is crazy in itself, because Star-Chrome's, like, I don't know. Star-Chrome seemed like a currency that was a pay-to-win currency, but it's actually, I don't think it is. I don't think it's actually a pay-to-play currency. I think it's a full free-to-play currency, which is why this game is just so amazing to me. Because you're getting all this really, really sweet stuff just by spending some currency on it or summoning for it through wishes. And you're getting great things out of it. And as you can see there, though, we are at 11 gunpowder so far out of this farm. If we were to run it twice from just the point we're currently at, we'd be at about 22 gunpowder. Way better than spending the 2 acid per gunpowder. And once again, like I said, there are better monoliths to challenge. I just wanted to use the Gaia one as a reference. If you know what monoliths are, you should be able to find the other monoliths. I'm not going to assume that you don't even know how to find a monolith. I'm just showing you, this is probably the best one for a low-level player, because it's the lowest level monolith, I think. I think there might be one before it. I am mistaken. There's one before it. But it's the second lowest one. If you want, you could do the lowest level one and hope for gunpowder. But I honestly wouldn't even bother doing it, because I think the drop rates of the enemies go up when their level goes up, if I'm not mistaken. I may be mistaken, and there may be no difference. And that's honestly why I still go to like a level 3 area to farm my acid. Is because it's just so much simpler there. I can just take a melee weapon and go in and farm acid, and I don't have to waste bullets or anything. And that's what my main thing is. I don't want to waste a bunch of bullets. But gunpowder wise, you might as well just bring a gun, go into this area here. A melee weapon would have taken absolutely ages to get through this, and I just didn't feel like doing that. And copper rounds are cheap. We are just using copper rounds on this. We just crafted up a bunch of them because I didn't want to make steel, because iron's actually kind of a pain. Copper, I usually got enough just from my deviants. Daily that I was good, and I had 2 Digby boys and I was good. But now with iron, even though I've been in like 2 regions, maybe 3 regions that have iron, I never have enough iron to make enough steel bullets. I don't know, it absolutely drains me. And honestly, I feel like saving the steel for my gun upgrades and calibrations over spending the steel on ammo right now. It may change, maybe eventually I'll be able to get tons of iron and not have a problem, but right now I do need to figure out a better way of getting iron. And once I do, you will be sure to see a farm guide over that as well. Though I don't know, besides getting more Digby boys, really, and I kind of have a video coming up over the Digby boy, but he's just part of the video because it's the top 5 deviant video. And then also, this chest here, there is some sort of mechanic in this monolith that will allow you to open this chest. I don't actually feel like it's worth bothering with, so I didn't end up going to look for the mechanic or anything. This is pretty much the end of the run here, and once you do get to the end of this little area here, and you finish killing enemies, all you have to do is teleport back to your base, teleport back to the teleport tower, and you will be able to just instantly start killing the enemies again. Every single one of the enemies will constantly respawn every time you teleport there. Heck, they may even respawn if you just drive far enough away and come back. You may actually want to try that before you teleport to your base, for the reason being that when you teleport to your base, there's an 8-minute cooldown in between the time from, like, so if your run takes less than 8 minutes, you might be stuck waiting a minute before you can go back to your base. Or Well, really, there's no other good option. I mean, besides maybe driving your motorcycle up to the teleport tower so you can teleport somewhere else and then back to the tower and alternate between base and tower, or maybe like a market or a specific town. But even the tower itself would have a cooldown eventually when you travel to it. But I guess it'd work out. I guess you could do it. You could alternate between base and the tower if you were just to drive back to the tower. But I do believe this is about the end of the video, guys. This is how to farm gunpowder. Never waste your acid on gunpowder again, guys. But I am out. See yas. Keep it beast mode.